Hi everyone! Welcome to Microbit Ready, Steady, Go, the first of two sessions in which we explore the world of microbit and the fun things you can make with it. Thanks for making the time to join us today. I know you must have had a long day already. I'm Akneela, I'm from Institute of Imagination, and we are a UK charity set up to champion the power of imagination and learning. We design and deliver immersive and engaging learning experiences for 5 to 15-year-olds that fuse the arts, sciences, and digital technologies. We have been working with BBC Microbit, the Next Gen campaign, which aims to equip children not only with digital skills, but also the tools to imagine and innovate with technology. As part of the campaign, there are lots of free resources and teacher training on their website, so we will talk you through these at the end of the session. To get you started though, today we're going to introduce you to the microbit through a fun quiz, and we'll teach you how to code a simple buzzer which you can use with the quiz and your students. And you can also tinker with the code or use those buzzers whenever you want to bring a bit more energy to a lesson, especially after a big lunch. So I can see lots of you already know about the microbit, but in case you still have some of these boxes lying around and you are unsure of what is inside, let's unbox one of them together. So once you open your boxes, yours might look different than what I have here, but you should still find a Get Started booklet, and it points you to microbit.org/start website. That website has all of the information you need to set up your microbits. You will also find a safety guide. You will find your microbits. And you will also find a set of batteries, a battery pack, and a USB cable. So now that we had a look of what is inside, let's jump back to our quiz. Let's get started. What is a microbit? Please put your answers in the comments. Yes, so it's a pocket-sized computer and you can tell it what to do by coding it. One of the very cool things about the microbit is there's no need to write code. You can use code blocks to command it using language MakeCode. What is coding? Coding is writing a set of instructions so a computer knows what to do. Which part of a microbit lights up to display shapes and messages? And again, use the comment sections to put whether it's A or B. Yeah, so it uses the LED display. The microbit has a small screen made of 25 tiny lights, LEDs, that can show you pictures, numbers, or words. You can program it to tell you jokes, show you directions, or send you reminders such as don't forget to tie your shoelaces. Now, how many programmable buttons does a microbit have? There are two physical buttons that can be programmed. They allow for three different button press commands: on button press A, on button press B, and on button press A and B. And you can use these to control games, to start timers, or send messages. What happens if you take microbit out for a walk? It will sense your movement and count your steps. Microbit has an accelerometer. This detects acceleration and can tell you when you shake it, tilt it, or move it in different directions. It can be used as step counter, and there's loads more you can do with it. Now, imagine you're lost in the woods. Which part of a microbit can help you find your way? So, yes, microbit can help you with directions anytime, as it has a tiny compass that knows which way is north, so it can tell you the direction you're facing. How can microbits talk or communicate with each other? Using radio, the microbit can also talk wirelessly to other devices like your tablet or another microbit to share information or play games together. True or false? Microbits have pins and needles. False. On the bottom, there are connectors called pins that you can use to attach other electronics like lights, speakers, or sensors. And fortunately, there are no needles. True or false? A microbit can warm up a cup of tea. It is false. The microbit cannot warm up your cold tea, but it can measure how hot or cold the object it's placed on is, just like a thermometer. How does the microbit know if it's light or dark? Using its LED display. So the microbit can sense how bright or dark it is by measuring the light around it using the first row of the LEDs on the LED display. So let's recap. There are two buttons, and these buttons give you three options: button A, button B, and button A and B together. There is a touch sensor on the gold logo, a microphone LED. The top row of the LED display can estimate the amount of light you can use, so you can use it a little bit like a light sensor. And the microbit has pins that can be used to connect other devices like robotics kits using those pins at the bottom. On the other side, there is a radio antenna so it can talk to other microbits. There is also a reset button. There is an accelerometer, a compass, which is also in the same place as the accelerometer. There is a speaker, a thermometer, which is inside microbit's processor. There's a battery socket and a microphone. Please note that some of you may have version 1 microbits, and so far we have been discussing version 2. To find out which version you have and the key differences, follow the link we'll be sharing in the comments. And you can also find a poster with all these annotations on the BBC Teach website, which again, we will share in the comments. Now, if you haven't already done so, taking your microbit out of the box and running the Meet the Microbit experience is a fun way to explore some of its features that we have been discussing so far. So to do this, let's get our microbits and let's also get the batteries. Now I have these batteries inside a battery pack. There we go. And we're going to put them right in here. Okay, one battery. The other one. Okay, and now let's put this in the socket. As soon as we do that, you will see your microbit light up and make some fun chirping sounds. In a little bit, it will say hello, and it will also show us the smile using the 25 LEDs, like this. Now, it is asking us to press button A, then button B. So these are the two buttons that allow you those three commands, A, B, or A and B together. Now it is asking us to shake it. So let's do that. By shaking it, we are activating the accelerometer, which is like a movement sensor. It senses movement from left to right, up and down, forward and backward. So let's see what happens if we tilt it. Oh, there we go. So you should be able to see one tiny LED flash. It's asking us to tilt it again. Okay, let's do that. So now we're playing a game. we are one LED and we're trying to catch another flashing LED light. There we go. I think we did it. Excellent. So we just played a game. Now the microbit is asking us to clap. So it's going to show off its sound sensor and a speaker. There we go. Everything, wow. Impressive clapping over here, okay? And now the final thing the microbit will invite you to do is to play a game of Snake. Now, we don't have time for this, but I'm sure it's super, super fun. And if you can run this experience, I highly recommend doing it. If you have used your microbit already and you missed the Meet the Microbit experience, we're going to share a link in the comments that leads you to a tutorial on how to get the microbit experience file and how to get it back onto your microbit so you can do what we just did on camera. So far, we have taken our microbit out of the box. We have explored its features and abilities. And as you can see, microbits are excellent for lots of things. But in the next section of our webinar, we would like to show you how to get this microbit and how you can use it to spark a conversation with your students to talk about coding, about software and hardware, and how to ignite the creative spirit. So what we're going to do is turn this microbit into a buzzer, and into an answer buzzer, so you can use this for the quiz that we played with you earlier and to get the conversation going about all these coding fun things. So first things first, what we're going to need is a laptop with a MakeCode website. Again, we're sharing the link to MakeCode website in the comments. And we're going to need to use the microbit, a USB cable, and a power source. So I have all of these set up. You can also access MakeCode through the free microbit app, and you can pair microbits with tablets using Bluetooth. A full guide on how to do this is available on microbit.org/start. So we're going to go and jump onto MakeCode. Give me 1 second. So on the MakeCode website, click New Project and give it a name. I will call it MicroQuiz. Remember, the code we're about to show you is for version 2 microbits. We're going to share a link to the version 2 code, and we're also going to share a link to version 1. Version 1 code is slightly different than version 2. Right, now we have to put the code together. Before we do that, let's take a look at this website. On the left-hand side, we have the microbit simulator. When we have coded something and we want to check if our code is correct, we can use the simulator to test that. The middle section is full of code blocks. So this is where you find lots of different code blocks where you can tell your microbit to do something. And this section is where we code. MakeCode very fortunately gives us 2 code blocks to start with. We don't need them for this code, so I will drag them in the middle section to delete them. Okay, so we're going to turn the 2 buttons into answer buzzers. Let's go into input. Let's grab the first block, which says on button A pressed. So we have 1 button. We need to have a block for the other button, for button B. I will drag on button A pressed again, but this time I will change A to B. Next, I want the LED display to show which answer I have chosen, A or B. So I will go to Basic and choose block that says Show LEDs. I need one for letter A and I need one for letter B. You can use these to create different drawings, different symbols. In this case, I'm going to turn this into letter A. And this one into letter B. Great. And now we want these buttons to make a sound. So let's go into music. Scroll down. And grab this block. Play giggle until done. Slot it in here. We need another one. So we'll go back to music. Scroll down. And grab another block. But for letter B, let's change it into different sounds. So I will choose slide. Now, if we go over to the simulator, let's test our code. Button A, one sound. Letter B. This is looking good. So we have our code ready. The next step would be to download our code. So just give me 1 second. Okay, now we need to grab our microbit, insert the cable into the microbit and the computer. Once you have done that, you will see your microbit flash red and orange LEDs. Now that we've done that, let's pair the microbit with the browser. Let's go to the bottom of the screen and find this button with 3 dots. Now, this browser hasn't been paired with this microbit, so I will select Connect Device. We're going to click Next. We need to click Pair. This pop-up window appears, so let's select this as our microbit. Let's connect it. It will need a couple of seconds, and we have connected our microbit with our browser successfully. The final thing will be to download the code. So let's go to the bottom left and select Download. As the code is downloading, the microbit will flash an orange LED, and once it stops flashing, we then know that our code has finished downloading. It might take a couple of seconds. Okay, I believe we have done this successfully. So I will disconnect my microbit from my laptop. I will bring it over to a camera so we can test this code together. So I have my microbit. I need a power source. So let's put this in the socket. And if we have coded this successfully, it should play a sound and show us letters. So let's test button A. There we go. It is showing letter A and it's playing the sound. Let's test button B. And it has shown us the letter B and it has played the sound. Excellent. So we have successfully made this into an answer buzzer. And you can use this code with your students and you can play the same quiz we played with you earlier. So you press letter A for answer A and you press letter B for answer B. We're going to share the codes. We have shared the codes in the comments, but if you'd like also the ready-made codes, they're also in the comments. Now, you may have noticed that here in the studio, I'm surrounded by interesting contraptions, and they have been made possible by microbit. So let's demonstrate a couple of them. Here we have the Forever engine, and I'll turn it on and I'll let it spin for a little bit. We also have the Eye of Curiosity. And we have also made this, and it's a compass. So if I plot it out, so this compass can tell you if it's north, if it's east, if it's west, and you can use this with your classroom to maybe explore your environment. We're going to share a link on how to put this code together, so a link to a tutorial, and we also have made a ready-made code if you'd like to download them right onto your microbits and get exploring. Now, using the microbit is an opportunity to tinker and let your creativity go wild. So join us for our next session of the microbit Ready, Steady, Go, and learn how microbit can help you ignite your students' creative spirit. Before we end the session, we would like to use this time to see if you have any questions. So simply pop them in the comments. So we have a question from Caroline. If you download a new code, does it clear off the last code, or do you need to do that first? Yes. So if you have a code on your microbit already, and you download a new code onto microbit, the previous code will be automatically deleted. You don't have to do it yourself. So you saw how I plugged in the new microbit and it started running the microbit experience. And I then downloaded my buzzer code. So the Meet the Microbit experience was wiped off and it was replaced by the buzzer code. Let's go to the next question from Helen. Are there any instructions on how to make these models? Yes, so if you would like to make the compass, we have shared links to the tutorial how to put the code together. But if you don't want to do the coding and you just want to make the compass, we've also shared a link to the ready-made code, and it lives on MakeCode website. So as well as the BBC Teach website, check out microbit.org/stat. You can also find this link in the guide that you would find in your microbit box. A reminder to check if you have version 1 or version 2 microbits, and you can do that with the third link. Also visit makecode.microbit.org to start coding. I would highly recommend checking out all these links because they're excellent. They help you to set up your microbits. They help you to find lots more resources. Now, thank you so much for joining us today. We hope to see you in our next session where we dive in deeper into the world of microbit and continue to champion the competitive spirit through some cool and energizing code. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.